So, the morning after the night before, and that was Crystal Palace 2, Chelsea 3. Now, I don't smoke, I've never smoked, but in that last 10 minutes last night, I wanted a cigarette, I'm telling you. What a what an emotional roller coaster that was. I mean, I should be used to it after all these years supporting Chelsea, but we never do anything easy. And yeah, what a game. Right, I'll make it quick today because I mean I'm sure most of you watched it. Chelsea again had probably 65% of the possession, I think it was, and but still managed to make it touch and go near the end. Should have finished it a lot earlier. Willian should have finished off a chance early on. So should Giroud, um, and so should Pulisic. Funny enough, but yeah. Um, onto the game itself, and onto the players. Kepa. If I have a heart attack, I'm blaming it on Kepa because yeah, when there's a cross in the box, just forget about it. He comes, he flaps. Sometimes he gets it. Sometimes he came and just only had one man in front of him and pushed it downwards, which fortunately went out of the area. Um, yeah, he a mistake with his feet early on where he went to kick it out and it just looked like one of my golf shots. It just skimmed across the ground and went straight to one of their players. And yeah, he didn't instill me with any sort of confidence. And then with 5 minutes to go, he makes an excellent fingertip save. So yeah, I'll leave you to your own conclusions on Kepa. It was a fine save near the end. Yeah, the goal. I mean, Zaha did not fit it. I mean, but he was 35 yards out. I know it was going at 65 mile an hour, but I wouldn't blame Kepa. I wouldn't blame Kepa, but I think Courtois the snake even and Peter Cech saves that in my book. So I would say 90% of goalkeepers wouldn't have got to it, but there is an elite bunch of keepers who are probably 6'3" plus who would get to it. So yeah, that was Kepa. I'm going to give him a 6 because of his save at the end. That was Kepa. Reece James. Reece hasn't captured his best form by any means. He done an okay job last night. Put a couple of decent crosses in. A lot of the crosses were too near the goalkeeper. And defensively, he got caught out a couple of times. But he put a shift in. So I'm going to give him 6. Aspie, I thought Dave did all right. Again, put a really good shift in. We look a lot better defensively when he's there. Let's be honest about it. And he does get back, albeit slowly because he hasn't got the pace. But I'll give Aspie a 7 actually because he was a little bit better than Reece on the other flank. In the middle, Christensen didn't really have a lot to do. Again, he got caught out again, which could have led to a goal. A little bit of ball watching, I think, or just lack of concentration. Only happens once or twice during the game, but that can be costly in the Premiership. So I'm going to give Christensen a 6. Zuma, I'm going to give an 8. That tackle near the end, the timing of it, perfection, absolute perfection. The guy had a tough time in the air. Normally he took Benteke, and Benteke's a big old lump, but Zuma did great against him. It was real good battle to watch. One of the old throwbacks, the old centre half and the centre forward going up for everything. One winning it one time, the other one winning it the next. A real good battle. I'm going to give Zuma an 8. Going to midfield, Billy Gilmore, you know I'm his biggest fan. struggling for a bit of form. Gave the ball away a few times when I wouldn't normally expect Billy Gilmore to give the ball away. And yeah, I think he's got a 6. He's got a 6. Couple of great balls, you know, but I expect that from him. He's a real talent. I think these young lads have really been affected by this layoff. Really been affected by it. Mason Mount, I text my son and said, you know, I'd hate to be playing against Mason Mount. It must be like playing against a wasp. He's permanently nipping at you, darting here, there, everywhere. Mason Mount gets a 7 from me. And Ross Barkley didn't have his greatest game last night, but it wasn't a bad performance. I think he sometimes watches the game go by him a bit, particularly when we're on the back foot. But he got back. He done his defensive work. A couple of good balls. A rash shot where he perhaps should have passed it. But do you know what? In the form he's been in, I'd have been moaning if he hadn't shot. If he'd passed it and then nothing had come of it, I would have said, why don't you shoot? So he was damned if he did and damned if he didn't. So I'm going to give Ross a 7. I think he did okay. On the right hand side, Willian was personally my man of the match, because his defensive work that no one ever notices was outstanding last night. He lost the ball once and got back for it, but other times he didn't lose the ball. Other people did, and he was still back. I thought it was a really, really top performance. A couple of times he put duff corners in. They went over everyone, so that's got him away from a 10 or maybe even a 9. But I'm going to give him 8.5. Pulisic is going to get 8.5 as well. Did great. Never stopped running again all night. Yeah, what can you say about Captain America? And Ollie Giroud did well, held the ball up well, battled well. It's a shame he hasn't got pace, because he would be one of the best forwards in the world. But yeah, he finished off that first one for us, and you know, he had to. Everyone's saying, "Oh, they should have stopped play." Forget sportsmanship. Forget sportsmanship. They wouldn't have stopped for us. End of story. End of story. So when Cahill unfortunately pulled up with that hamstring, Willian had to carry on. I don't even think Willian noticed what had happened, and Giroud definitely had to tuck it away. So yeah, Giroud gets an 8 from me as well. I thought he did. I thought he did really, really well last night. Yeah. So the other goals, Pulisic. What a finish! What a finish! Straight in the top, our left-hand corner, their right-hand corner of the net. Goalkeeper didn't stand a chance. And it was good to see Tammy get back on the score sheet. I wasn't overstruck with his performance when he came on. I think he's having a real crisis of confidence, but he finished well. A couple of minutes later, he had a gilt-edged chance as well and just fluffed it. But yeah, he loses the ball in some dodgy positions. But yeah, he's having a crisis. Striking, being a forward is all about confidence, and I think Tammy's confidence has been affected. When he's been out injured, he's probably worried about all these niggling injuries. He sees we're buying forwards, and he also sees Giroud come in and do a pretty damn good job. So yeah, Loftus-Cheek looked a lot better last night. I know he had a bad miss, but do you know what? His all-round play, driving forward, I thought, yeah, you're getting there, son. So that's looking good for us. So yeah, without Kante, we're not the same side. No matter all this debate about whether he should be defensive midfield or on the right of the midfield, doesn't really matter. He gets through a lot of work, and we do miss him. So I thought we did. Really quite well. Now, the big debate about Jorginho. I don't think it's anything about his ability. His agent has been in the newspapers since November. Saying, oh, if there was an offer from a big European club, obviously as his agent, he would have to listen to it. And Frank must hear what's going on behind the scenes. He must have conversations with Jorginho and saying, is your agent talking to you on your behalf, or is he just stirring? He must have conversations that we're not privy to. And I don't think Jorginho not being picked. I mean, when he came on last night, the game changed. He slowed it right down, which is something that Billy Gilmour will learn to do. He's an 18-year-old kid, or 19, whatever he is, but he's an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid. He hasn't got that experience yet. Jorginho has. Slowed the game right down. We know he can pass the ball, goes without saying. And he looked what he is, quality. But as I say, I don't think it's about ability at all. I think it's about what goes on behind the scenes. And no one on social media takes that into consideration. So just have a little think about that. It could be something that's influencing Frank's decision making. Because we did look a lot better side. The young lads, they are on the whole struggling for form, and it will happen. We know it will happen. We know it happens with youngsters. Got to be patient. Got to be supportive. Don't know how many on Twitter know what that actually means, and yeah, they'll come good big time. So that's it really. I managed to avoid not starting smoking. I managed to avoid a heart attack, and I'm looking forward to Saturday. Sheffield United. Gonna be tough, but you know what? I think we're gonna do it. I'm going for a 2-1 win. You heard it here first. Oh, and me bet about Leicester coming fourth. Coming fifth, sorry, and Man United beating them into the top 4, and us finishing fourth. Mark my words, I'm not psychic, and it's not written in stone. But when you look at the fixture list, it would make sense. I'm sure if I'm wrong, you'll all let me know at the end of the season. Okay, for the 2 or 3 of you that watch these, hope you've enjoyed it, and up to Chelsea.